I asked you to picture one thing in your mind when I say the word ocean. Pictures of marine species such as clownfish, starfish, dolphins, and whales might pop into your head. Other images that might pop into your head may include surfing, the sun, a little bit of wind. But in reality, what I think of when I think of the beach is plastic.
Nearly every piece of plastic ever made still exists today. We generate almost 10.5 million pounds of plastic in a year, and it takes almost 2,000 years for a piece of plastic to disintegrate. In just this last 10 years, we have produced more than we had in the last century combined. Plastic uses from Americans include 35 billion plastic water bottles every year and 1 million bags every minute worldwide. You might ask, where does all this plastic go? Well, most of it ends up in landfills, as Americans throw away almost 185 pounds of plastic a year individually. This means that only 1 to 2% of plastic is recycled, often leading to the mass amounts of plastic and pollution that exists on Earth today. With over 300 million tons of plastic reduced just last year, no wonder California oceanographer Captain Charles J. Moore said, "Plastic is in the air we breathe. It becomes part of the soil and the animal kingdom. We're becoming plastic people."
There is an island in the South Pacific called Tuvalu, where citizens go as far as throwing their used and unwanted plastic outside their doors with no effort to recycle it or even dispose of it. This was caused by the lack of resources to dispose of the plastic properly. The people of Tuvalu were so overwhelmed by plastic that they tried to burn it all, which caused the release of gases called dioxin and furan that developed cancer in many of the individuals who were exposed to them on the island. BPA is a chemical often added to plastics to make them more durable. Most people, however, don't know that BPA was once given to animals, such as cows and chickens, to help them gain a lot of weight before being killed and used as meat. BPA is known to disrupt hormones in humans and can even mimic the effect of estrogen in human bodies. This can lead to weight gain and hormone imbalance in anyone who consumes BPA. To make matters worse, it is known now that BPA in plastics and food packaging can leach into the food being preserved and enter the body when consumed. According to the CDC, over 92% of people who were tested had levels of BPA and other plastic chemicals in their bodies. This even included newborn babies whose mothers consumed the harmful chemicals in plastics. Another harmful chemical present in plastics is called phthalates. Phthalates are considered to be extremely dangerous for men and boys, especially when they are exposed in utero. According to many experts, phthalates are linked to immune system impairment, lower levels of testosterone, and even infertility in men. These are just a few of the problems that phthalates cause in people. These are just a few chemicals found in plastics that cause harm to human bodies. Chemicals added to plastics are often absorbed by the human body. Many of these chemicals have been proven to alter hormones and have other hazardous effects on human health. Some of these hazardous effects to our health include reproductive issues. Some of the chemicals found in plastic have been shown to disrupt reproduction and development in animals. Some studies have actually linked the chemicals found in plastics with reproductive abnormalities. Lastly, people with the highest level of BPA in their system are at an increased risk of heart disease and even diabetes. Proper disposal of plastic not only has a negative effect on humans, but also has a negative impact on marine life. In fact, Plastic debris often absorbs toxic chemicals from other pollution in the ocean and poisons whatever marine species eats it. In addition, nets in the ocean often entangle birds, fish, and other mammals such as dolphins and whales, making it impossible for these creatures to survive. Another negative effect of plastic in the ocean is the killing of seals. In fact, plastic entanglement was said to have killed up to 40,000 seals last year alone. In addition, what this means is that there will be a 50% decline in seals over the next 30 years. These seals often find the plastic pollution in the ocean and think of it as a toy. The seals often get caught in the plastic and drown themselves. One such case occurred on Cape Cod Beach, where both a seal and a whale became entangled in 100 feet of net. They both starved to death in 1982. Seabirds, such as seagulls and piping plovers, also are harmed by plastic pollution. They often mistake small bits of plastic for fish eggs or other small prey. They often feed these pellets to their offspring or eat it themselves. This causes the plastic to get clogged in their intestines and slowly kills them.
Imagine 100 million tons of garbage floating around in the ocean. Well, this has actually occurred. Right off the coast of California is the largest oceanic garbage site in the entire world. This site includes floating plastic pieces that outnumbers the marine life 6-1. This plastic does not degrade. Instead, it just breaks down into smaller pieces. UN estimates that plastic kills around 1 million sea creatures a year, and that by 2050, plastic will outnumber fish in the ocean. Now we have a dilemma. What do we choose? How do we solve the problem of plastics? A lot of people might say, increase recycling, make recycling mandatory. But the problem with this process is that recycling can cost a lot of money. Many government and political officials will opt to send their recyclables to landfills right outside their cities to save money. For example, Mayor Bloomberg from New York City offered a company to take their recyclables to landfills for almost half the price it would take to put the recyclables through an infrastructure. Another problem with building mandatory recyclable programs would be the effort to instill it throughout the world. Also, we'd have to go through a lot of governments to make the laws, and a lot of red tape would stall our solution process.
A solution that would be much easier to achieve would be starting a worldwide movement. This could easily be achieved through education of the youth and celebrity involvement. These two things would help the movement spread worldwide in a timely fashion.
Another solution we came up with was banning plastic bags. This could be difficult as many workers in factories would be unemployed, and we'd have to get all the population to comply to the new rulings.
Another solution that would be simple to accomplish is to start efforts to clean the oceans. This would be an excellent way to raise awareness of the dangerous effects of plastics in the oceans and on the beaches. This could be achieved by community service for prisoners or even an event for children in the community. We could take that opportunity to inform the community about the dangerous effects plastics have on the ocean and marine life.
Another solution that can be a lot of effort but worth the expense is installing infrastructure in countries that do not have recycling plants. Like I said before, only 1 to 2% of plastic is recycled, but this percentage could increase with new plans. Recycling plans could also be helpful for countries such as Tuvalu that don't have the proper infrastructure to recycle. Therefore, they will not have to throw plastics out into the street or burn plastic to create dangerous chemicals that cause cancer.
It is nearly impossible to achieve change without education. For this reason, we feel that educating people on the dangers of plastic and the dangerous chemicals in plastic products would be an important and helpful way to help defend against the plastic plague. This education could be achieved through schools and other programs that target educating people on the dangers of plastic. The final solution we have suggested is a strict penalty to be enforced for those who litter plastic on beaches. While this solution would be helpful in that the money earned from the penalties could go towards ocean cleanup efforts, it would be hard to enforce such a strict penalty without any buildup.
After much consideration, we feel that the best way to achieve global change is through starting a worldwide movement by education. This would spread awareness of the dangers of plastic in a timely fashion. To accompany this, schools should invite speakers to inform students about the dangerous chemicals found in plastics. In addition, advertisements should be aired on television in order to educate many people on the dangers of plastic. Through these solutions, we can attempt to end the plastic plague.
Overall, the amount of plastic produced each year has a negative effect on both humans and marine life. The chemicals ingested by humans from plastic products proves to be extremely dangerous to both heart and immune health. The free-floating plastic in the ocean proves to be dangerous to marine life because when it is ingested, the plastic poisons the creatures. If we keep creating and using plastic at an exponential pace like we do now, we will soon be living on a plastic planet.